wake up, no time for sleeping on the issues. This is Neutral Voices, we gon' deal with the issues. Wake up.
Wow. Welcome to Neutral Voices, the place where your voice matters. And this is our Wednesday live segment where we laugh,
inspire,
vibe,
educate.
And you know what? We're going to educate tonight.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we have plenty to discuss. We're going to be talking about black on black crime.
Yes.
And, you know, the other way I like to say it is black on black attack. Because it looks all different types of ways. So not always fatal.
No.
Yeah. So we want to talk about this video, though.
Yeah.
That protesting video.
That's pretty strong and all over.
That was
all
strong.
over the place.
But this, you know, the way people came together, the unity for that fight and that cause.
Absolutely. Do we remember what that protest was for?
Wasn't that George Floyd?
Right.
Because
he was right. It involved the police, a police killing another police killing, and I would, show another video, but I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find any data on protest that, for instance, in the black community, black on black crime, I couldn't find any protests that happened after that. I only found protests where a white person kills someone that's in the black community or a police officer does the same. So it was very hard to find the data because it's very minimal, if there is any. And I think it's important to say that it's not the police that are coming into these local neighborhoods and killing black people steadily. It is not the white man that is coming into these neighborhoods and killing teenagers in the black community, fathers, sons, brothers, mothers. It is not. But what is it?
What is it?
What is it? Who is killing most of the members that we are losing in our black community today?
Unfortunately, Jill, I know exactly where you're going with this, obviously, black on black. And you know what comes to mind? You know how people talk about when black people can call each other the N-word? That's kind of what comes to mind with this. Black people can kill each other, but the white man better not. No other culture can. So that's what comes to mind there when I hear you say
those streets
that.
are flooded. They are flooded in France. I mean, all over the place. Because a life that is lost, when we say Black Lives Matter, they have to matter regardless of how the life is lost, whether it be by a police officer, whether it be by a white man, an Asian man, a black man. That life has to matter, and it has to be fought for regardless.
Absolutely. It has to start inside. So it has to be, an internal concern.
Yeah.
Yes, first.
And she's speaking the truth, so I hope nobody takes offense. But you are speaking the truth, and I understand from the point in which you're coming. Yes, when it seems like, and as Doc V alluded, we say that in our families. We can fight within our families, but ain't nobody else going to mess with anybody outside of our family.
Yeah.
That is a good but a detriment as well. That's a good thing and a detriment because, we can say that we can do whatever we want to each other and it shouldn't matter to anybody else, but it should matter to us first for it to matter to anybody else.
Because if we are protesting, and if you noticed, I mean, there are all races in that video.
Everybody
People
came together
together, and that's not something. I mean, I found 100 years worth of protests, and up until very recent, it was all one race, protesting for one race. Now people are coming together, but if we're asking for Black lives to matter to everyone, they have to also matter to people who are Black.
Well, that's the first.
I mean, that is first and foremost.
That's the first thing. You have to matter. We have to go back to, am I my brother's keeper? That's where we need to start back. If me personally, if I see somebody kill Stats, call me what you like, I'm dropping a dime. Because simple fact, this is my brother.
Yes.
Right.
And it gets to the point where, well, I don't want to snitch.
That's a sad reality in our community.
Snitching.
That is a
Now,
sad
what is-
reality in our community.
Honestly,
Well, see,
what is that about?
I mean, what is? Well, a lot of people are scared of the retaliation.
For sure.
Yes.
But on top of that,
Have you ever been put in that position?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No. I mean, honestly, I'm the first. Hey.
You know.
Well, I mean, especially put it like this: you would rather see your homeboy on a T-shirt than rock out with him,
Right.
So it's just like, okay, well, we'll get so and so back. No, at the end of the day, that means you killing someone else,
Oh, yeah.
and somebody else
That
family.
vigilante.
Yeah, and somebody
Yeah.
else's family got to go through the same thing. If you know something, say something. It's just that simple. That's the only.
But
way
it's easy to say that. Now you think about the people that have actually witnessed a crime. There's been many times people been shot in clubs and they know the person walked right up to them when Fred Sanders was killed. People were standing on the street. People saw that.
Yeah.
Saw
But
the
see,
guy walk right up to
No,
him. So
I'm gonna ask you a question. Had that been a cop, it would have been 100,000 people trying
that's
to.
true.
Yeah.
And-
But being that is your own, you don't want to run off. You don't want to say nothing. At the end of the day, don't call him your homeboy if you're not gonna stand up for him.
I agree with that.
And it's funny. I know that situation happened in Fort Wayne. There was a young man, he was killed by the police. But everybody and their mama saw this police kill this man. It was over on Lily Street or off of Lily Street in McKinney. Winter, Lily, somewhere off of McKinney. Everybody saw it. But a week earlier, those same people, and you can watch the video footage on the news, some of those same people were standing there when a young man got killed a week earlier, but none of them saw anything. But everybody saw the police kill this young black man.
Yeah.
So I agree. Sometimes we got to hold ourselves responsible for some of the things that go on in our community. And for that to be, we have to, as he stated, we have to stand up. We have to be our brother's keeper. We have to be neighbors anymore and move out of the hood mentality and live back in neighborhoods where we take care of each other in the neighborhood.
Well, and like I said, that's the biggest thing. Me personally, hey, somebody close to me, and I say it, and I'm being quite honest. I'm going to tell the cop who it is, but I'm going to let them know. You better catch him before I do. I'm giving you who this person is.
Right.
I'm letting you know out the gate, this who did it.
Okay, so a personal story. I saw a cop kill someone right in front of my face, and it was several of us that saw it. Well, people quickly start saying, you better not, you stay out of it and get out of the window. And you don't want to, be involved. And so that's the way people started thinking right away. I'm just saying because then they thought, oh, the police going to get us. So I just think it depends on the situation and the person.
It shouldn't depend on if you see something that's wrong like that. Honestly, they got the snitching gang backwards. And I'm going to tell you, if I'm selling 1 million pounds of marijuana or whatever, and Clarence is too, Clarence get busted, Clarence going to rat.
He going to rat.
Yeah, he going to tell. He going to tell.
You can tell by his face he's going to tell.
I'm just
No,
saying.
I just know what you say. Yeah.
This is how they do it.
Yes.
They'll tell
lighter
on me
sentence.
for a lighter sentence, but they won't tell on that dude that shot that homeboy because they don't want to be a snitch.
Okay.
Come on now. Let's be realistic about this.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no way I could sit here and watch somebody kill you and not say, hey, this person did it.
Okay, so let's go behind the scene. There's other reasons. If you snitch on someone, honestly,
I'll just be a snitch.
No, but I'm saying, won't the system eventually call you to be a witness?
I would stand up in court.
Yes,
if
and that's the
I could do it, if I could do it behind.
Is that the problem?
That's the problem.
Because they're talking about Crime Stoppers, people getting paid, but at the end of the day, people got to come and show their face.
I can't say I love you and you my homie.
Right.
But I'm just telling you, call people cowards. I may fall in that category.
It's two sides of that coin.
And that's why I'm saying.
It's two sides to the coin, but let's be realistic about it. First and foremost, we talk about our community. We say the community is bad, but that's one of the reasons, the key reason our community is in turmoil.
No, it's not. Okay, one of the key.
I said one of the key.
I know. I said, okay, I got you.
That's one of the key reasons our community is
because
the way it is.
What is the main reason? If we be honest,
we need.
It's not racism.
No, we need to stand up and take responsibility for our.
Okay, so I'm just saying. So it's really not
accountability.
Yeah, going all the way back and falling back on racism. And
it's
falling back on slavery.
Right. Well,
that's
we
can't
started,
do that.
though.
But I'm just saying we can't stay there.
Exactly. We have to, if we want to move forward, we have to evolve.
We have to. And so we have to have a different mindset. So that means individually, that's why the Bible says to have a renewed mind. You have to have, you have to have a transformed mind.
If people are coming together like that for somebody they've never even met, imagine the impact of people in a community coming together
for somebody
that they actually know, somebody that lives in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And like you said, the issues in these neighborhoods overall, they're not police brutality. It is not racism. It is not white privilege. I mean, like Clarence said, it's accountability.
Yeah.
But instead of deflecting, yes, police brutality is an issue. Absolutely, it's an issue. But is it the main issue that we are dealing with in our local communities right here? So what good does it do to protest for George Floyd? George Floyd is gone.
Yes, George Floyd is gone, and the Bible says to let the dead bury the dead. And what we need to do is move forward in unity. And what that looks like is when we come together and we demonstrate Black progress.
Right.
And that what does that look like? And so I was just talking to E about that. What does that look like? What does Black progress look like? And one of the things is that we unify and we begin to support each other on all levels.
Right.
The main thing is just working together. Period.
Yeah.
We also have this mentality, I can't let you get above me.
That's right.
Crab in a bucket mentality.
Right. So my whole theory is if you stand on my shoulders and get up, that means you can lean down your hand and pull me up.
Absolutely.
Amen.
What do you think
Absolutely.
when you say that? There's something that comes to mind is you don't notice that as much in, like where I'm from white communities, from white neighborhoods. Why is it so prevalent? I hear you guys, say that a lot as far as the businesses and as far as the success levels. Why do you think it exists there as it does?
You know what came to mind? And I know myth, facts, false, true, we don't know. But the Willy Lynch letter. Yes. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, Jill.
Have you ever read the Willy Lynch letter?
But and that's why I say I don't know, so I don't want to come under attack. Right. Somebody will be saying that letter was false. It was never written by a white slave owner, etc. That's not the point. The point is the content is powerful.
Concept.
The concept. And so what's in that letter is a reality that obviously has been revealed. Yes. And so when it starts putting Black against Black, or it talks about the light versus the dark and the inside, house slave versus the outside. I know y'all thought I was going to say the house ninja, but either way, the facts are what they are. Today we have that. We war and fight against each other because your car or your rims blinging more than mine, or it costs more than mine, or you got a better house, or you got a better weave. Yeah. I'm just saying, whatever it is, we just have been like that for a very long time.
One of our biggest problems is we don't praise each other.
That's true.
If I praise Stats for his accomplishments, I praise Dr. V for her accomplishments, I mean, it's positive energy going out.
It should be.
And it's instead of me praising, oh, her shop ain't nothing. I've been in that little rinky-dinky shop.
Right.
You know what
I
I'm
hear
saying?
that, and I be thinking, man,
And
dang.
I've been in the Stats
the
Ragley
best I can
studio.
do.
You know, things like that. But instead of saying, hey, you might want to go on over there and get your head done because they got some good people over
Referring
there.
exactly,
Yeah.
keeping her business going.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
huge. And imagine protesting and sticking together and coming together before a person is dead.
But see, and that's why I'm saying, so that's why we have to actually take a step back and say, what does black progress look like? It definitely doesn't look like you coming against your brother and your sister just because they didn't do something you wanted them to do. And so, okay, so we got so many other things we can cover. So Jill, that video, was there anything else you wanted to point out about that? Because that was a powerful video to start off with. Because I like when you said you can find those everywhere, can't you? But you sure can't find one with us fighting and protesting for each other.
And
That
you
is
know,
so true.
I tried to think of some of the, recent events, the recent homicides, all the stuff that's going on right now in Allen County. And, you heard the justice for 3, where the white man. But other than that, you haven't heard. When you hear about a murder, a homicide, or whatever, you hear about it and then you don't.
Right.
But these, George Floyd, things like this, where the
Yeah.
white man, the police, it's blown up for forever and ever.
It is.
But these other lives that are lost, that are also
Kind of
black.
like the 72 that got shot in Chicago. Remember that weekend?
Right.
It was 72 people shot, 13 killed in
That was-
one weekend.
Labor Day weekend or Memorial
I
Day
think
weekend?
so.
Yeah,
That was
one of
black
them.
on black right there.
Yes, yes.
Well, see,
it was the same weekend. It was in Birmingham. That happened in Birmingham. A friend of Ricky Smiley of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, he was talking about it. It's a prominent pastor in Birmingham. Somebody drove through, shot up a park, and this young lady was killed. And again, for the next 3 days after that, they talked about it, but there was no major,
Yeah, it gets shut down. It's like we say something and then we get quiet.
So who do we blame for that? I'm just saying because right, and so but I'm talking about even the leaders. So when you think about that, like even like Al Sharpton and those different leaders, do they
Is Al
come
Sharpton really a
Tavis?
leader? I'm
I'm
gonna
just
ask
saying
that right
even
now.
Tavis Smiley and
Well, I mean, the thing-
Cornell West. Do you hear these people
I
stand
ain't heard.
up?
I ain't heard.
You ain't heard
Any-
Cornell West since Obama
Come
been
on.
out of office.
Yeah.
Come
I'm
on now.
saying I'm just saying
Cornel
any.
West or Eric Dyson.
I'm just
I ain't
saying
heard from
Since
neither one of them.
Obama been out of
any
office. Come
any
on.
black leaders, black
see,
scholars,
well,
anybody.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Why would they come in our community to stand up if we don't even stand up in our own community?
Right.
Let's start right there. We have to stand up
That's
in
right.
our own community
I
and
agree with that.
take over our community back. And before we can ask anybody else to come in and step up, we got to step up.
I got to say, for Al, it got to be a bag for Al Sharpton to show up. I'm going to say that publicly.
Ooh, that's bad.
We do have a couple comments.
Comments, thank you.
We've got
Hello,
Pastor
guys.
Curry. It
What's up, Pastor?
Hey, Pastor.
It started when Cain slew Abel.
Yep.
It was coveting his brother's blessings. It was jealousy. It was born out of doing or giving God what was left over, not his best. And it was family on family crime.
Yes. Oh, I'm glad.
And that's so good to say family on family because then that just really reveals that it's not necessarily black on purpose because there's also white on white. And okay,
Can I touch on that?
Yes.
Can I touch on
yes,
that?
Oh, go ahead.
Yes.
All right. Now, I am about to say something that a lot of people are not going to agree with and probably won't fully accept. But I do not believe in the concept of black on black crime. Black on black crime is a politically term that is tagged to it.
Shame on you.
No, it is factual. Here's why I'm going to say that. Every crime, not every crime, but a good majority of the crimes are crimes of proximity. That means we hurt the ones or harm the ones that are closest to us. Factual thing. Now, these are DOJ statistics from 2019.
Who's
I don't-
DOJ?
The Department of Justice.
Okay, I just want
Okay,
to know.
Department of Justice.
There's too many
And
letters.
and I couldn't find
That was
2020
for
because
you
it's still,
guys.
still early in the year, and I probably don't have the 2020
Yeah.
statistics out. But as of 2019, all right, yes, we do lead. But listen, 97% of blacks are killed by black people. 98% of Hispanics are killed by Hispanic people. 90% of Asians are killed by Asians. 93% of whites are killed by white people. 87% of child molesters are closely related or have close contact with their victims. 65% of rapists has knowledge or some familiarity with their victims. Most break-ins are done by a person who is familiar with the home. So, let's look at this, all that we said. There's black on black. You don't hear, hold on. When you hear it on the news or you see articles, you hear black on black crime. You don't hear woman on woman crime. You don't hear white on white crime. You don't hear Asian on Asian crime. There's no title to it.
That's right.
It is just simply a crime, period.
Yes.
There's no adjective. There's no expletives on that. It's just crime. So that's why I say there is no thing called black on black crime. Now, let me clean this up because I know I got some people confused. Yes, there is black on black violence, and that is a detriment to our community. There's violence among all people, but yes, we're killing each other at a higher rate, and we are a lesser populated rate. So we are a bigger detriment in that form right there.
But a killing is a what?
A killing is a killing.
A killing is a killing.
But-
So
Hold
it's
on.
a crime.
It's a
Is
crime.
what you're saying, Jill.
Yeah.
Okay. So my thought, real quick, Clarence, before you go somewhere else,
Okay.
you about to go down a slippery slope.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Slide
Let's
all
go.
the way
Let's
down.
go.
He is.
So, but my thing is, you can say there's no such thing, but I don't believe that because it is what it is. So just because we say that there's black on black crime doesn't mean that white on white crime doesn't exist.
I agree.
We're just not talking about that, and a lot of other people are not focused on that.
and-
But they all exist. So if we were in a room full of Asians and they wanted to talk about how many Asians killed each other, then it's a true statement to say that we're getting ready to talk about Asian crime.
Right.
So,
right. But
and that's
here's
why I
what-
say
here's what
it
I'm saying,
exists.
and I'm not disputing what you're
Okay,
saying.
but before you do that,
Okay.
the final thing I want to say is remember at the beginning I said not just black on black crime, but black on black attack.
I got you
So
there.
from different perspectives. So with that in mind,
Yeah.
okay.
And I will accept that conversation. I will accept that conversation. I can go with that conversation. Black on black issues, black on black attacks, because every sector has their own issue.
But why does the word crime bother you if that's what
It's
it
not-
is? It's a crime.
It's not crime that's bothering me.
The
It's
political narrative
it's the
that comes
political-
with it?
Yes.
So you just don't want to buy into the media. You agree that it exists, but you don't like the actual label
right.
of it.
And I'm gonna tell you why it's labeled on that. All right. Have y'all ever heard of the movie Birth of a Nation? And I'm not talking the one about Nat Turner. I'm talking about the original Birth of a Nation. Have y'all ever heard that movie?
Yes, I watched it.
Not the one about Nat Turner.
Oh, what did you say?
Birth
the,
of a Nation.
the original
The
one?
original movie.
No, I didn't watch it.
All right. This movie was shown in the White House in Woodrow Wilson's presidency.
Mm-hmm.
This is how old it was. It was a KKK movie that was made. And it was made to show how savage the black man was.
Mm-hmm.
This played in the White House. And that's why I say it's political. And here's why I say that. When you say there's black on black crime on the south side of town, that devalues our property values. That's why we don't have any stores. That's why we don't have any major businesses.
But that's public
Oh,
information. Anybody can get that if they're trying to move into a neighborhood.
But listen to the narrative. Listen to the narrative.
Because I'm going to go next.
The narrative is if we can make it seem, and we were talking before we came on, and I'm going to tell you, there's a song.
Yeah.
I know y'all know this song. It's all in
Come
the
on,
same
you gonna
game.
hit us
But
with it?
Yeah, these lyrics help us understand what the point I'm trying to say. Shock G, the late Shock G from Digital Underground. Sorry about his passing. But his lyric says, I'm in a rage. Why is that, G? Other races, they feel like they act like we're rats in a cage. Every night I try to argue this, but every night we prove those suckers right when I watch the news. Then it says, get busy, Humpty. America, the red, the white, the blue, and the red and white for the Crips and Bloods, and the whites who's got you doing time for busting caps on one another's. The underground's down for peace among brothers. Kill a black man. What? What are you, retarded? The underground's down for peace among brothers. Do what you like unless you like gang banging. Let's see how many brothers leaders are hanging. See, the problem is the media.
Okay.
The media wants us to focus on that these black people are savages.
Yes.
And that gives that validates when we say Black Lives Matter, that validates that Why Black Lives Matter? They killing each other.
But
That
acknowledging
validates.
that narrative exists in the media does not fix the black community
I'm not
with it.
saying.
Hold on,
Here's
hold
what
on.
I'm saying.
Can I get it? Can
I'm
I-
gonna give it to you. Can I finish this?
Okay.
Let me put a period on this, Ian. I'm gonna give it to you. What I'm
I'm over here
saying, the
shaking like a
political
opening right
narrative
now.
of black on black crime. Yes, there's black on black violence. Yes, there's black on black purse snatching. Yes, there's black on black rape.
Yes.
But the point of the matter is that we just put so much emphasis and it's politically motivated. Go ahead. E, can you hold your point? Because they want us to read this out.
Okay, go ahead and read that.
So we have a comment from Cassandra Clark. Hi, Cassandra.
What's
and
up?
she says that Black lives will matter when we as Black people know that we really do matter.
I agree with that.
I agree with her
Okay.
too.
All right, E, let me see your point.
I was gonna come in and just go in on you,
Come on.
but I can't.
Because I'm right.
I won't go that far, but I can't. I'm
right.
gonna have to agree with you on a lot of these points because the media expose us as real savages.
Yes.
And they only show the savage part of our community.
Right.
They never show the part that we come in. We got people that goes to work every day, that care about the community,
Right.
that actually fighting for our community.
Yes.
And then they want to say it's black on black crime. No, it's not. You're right. It's not black on black. It's just crime.
It's just
period.
crime. But when
Bottom
you put that
line,
label on it.
when you put a label on it, it makes it worse. They make our neighborhoods look like we're a bunch of savages, and a good 70% of our people in our neighborhood
Are not savages.
nowhere
come on
near
now.
savages.
They're nowhere near savages.
I'm not just saying they're savages. Well, I'm a savage. No. Wait. Okay.
got
Excuse
another
me. Bring me
comment.
back.
I'm gonna need
No.
you. I'm gonna need you to snap back.
Oh, I'm back.
Okay.
Okay. We do have a comment, but I just want to make sure y'all put a pin in where y'all are.
Yeah, I got you. I'm
Okay.
there. I'm there.
All right. Let's do this comment.
So we have a question for Clarence, and it says, who is pushing the message, C-Stats?
Well,
The media.
the media first and foremost.
That's what I was
But
getting
hold on,
ready to
Hold on.
ask.
The problem
Okay.
is we have bought into that mentality. We have bought into
Correct.
that we have to be thugs. We have bought into we have to act this way. We
You know
We
you don't have to
perpetrate-
act that way.
I know. I'm saying in a general sense. We also perpetrate all these stereotypes that they have set up for us.
Well,
Like
we
the
can't say
N-word.
everybody. Everybody's not in that stereotype.
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
saying
saying.
everybody.
Who? We.
But
Why?
see, like I said, here's the biggest thing. They only show those people that are living that stereotype. They don't show the ones that get up every morning, that bust their butt, that work third shift, second shift.
Well, there's no reason for you to be on the news. Haven't you heard?
I mean, there you go.
Right,
That's the
right,
point.
that's what I'm saying.
That's the point.
There's no
They
reason.
don't emphasize the businesses, the black-owned businesses that are thriving in the community through, regardless of the
Listen.
pandemic. They're not showing none of that.
Let me
They're
tell
not
you.
going to show none of that because, in simple fact, if I show that, that shows that
A different side.
a whole nother side.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
picture that's painted repeatedly.
Absolutely.
It's always been like that. The other day when I was saying a lot of white people are afraid to drive through the southeast part of town, not because somebody black tried to break into their car,
Something they heard.
but because of something that they
Somebody
heard
told them.
19 years ago. So many things we've never experienced, both for black and white, in all races. We've never experienced that. But we want to hate white people because of what's going on in our neighborhood, or hate the police because of what's going on in our neighborhood.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you, if you look at the news or you read the newspaper, if something were to happen on this side of town, they're gonna say a shooting happened on McKinney Street.
They're gonna get
such
an
and
address.
such address.
That's right.
Now,
Yeah.
if the same shooting happened out north,
It's just
they're
gonna say in the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood out
Subdivision.
north, they're not gonna give
Right.
the street. They're
Yep.
not gonna give anything that happened. They just
And
said
you-
it was a shooting on the north side of town.
You are
That's
so
it.
you are so absolutely right. And then one of the things that I wanted to say real quick before I lose my thoughts again was that a lot of times, if you haven't paid attention on the news, they won't put you on the news if you're only helping your culture.
No.
They will
will
not
not.
feature you,
No.
but
No.
they will feature another culture if they're
Yes.
helping their culture.
Yeah.
But watch the news and pay attention. They
Right.
will not feature you if you're not helping another culture.
So we have another comment. If we can pull that back a little bit, so we can have the most people that live in poverty are more susceptible to commit crime. Race has no factor, but the black people are living in poverty, so I can see why it's highlighted.
That is a true statement. That is a true statement.
Hold on, because
But-
I'm gonna say this.
Okay, go ahead. See, we got a lot to talk about. Let me just
it's
remind
white people
everybody.
living in poverty, and they're doing the same thing, but it's not being publicized. So let's not just. I mean, it's not even black on black crime. This crime spree that's happening. Period. We need to stop putting a label on it and just say it's a crime. Period.
It's a crime, but we just want to bring attention to it. Like I want to bring attention to it. This right here. This is Neutral Voices, and we're having great conversation about black on black crime or black on black attack.
Right.
So I just want to make sure y'all keep y'all minds wide
And I got it,
open
I got it.
about the different ways that black on black can cause lack on lack.
And here's and I'm glad you said that. Here's where we were talking about the businesses and things like that. We will, and I said this yesterday, and I was talking, and the funny thing is, Master P, I didn't know he was on the Breakfast Club, but he said the same thing. Everybody's on Diddy about paying for Black Rob's funeral, but not paying for him when he was alive. And he said, why is everybody on Diddy? Why isn't everybody going for RCA, going for the $1 billion versus the $1 million? But we are the ones on Diddy. We are the ones that are saying this man. So we are more critical on our own. So the crime is, if we really want to talk black on black crime, let's talk about the bringing down of each that we face every day, just simply because somebody don't like us.
And that's why I said who we don't have to, just stay focused on the crime. So yes, we know brothers killing brothers, sisters killing sisters is going back and forth for whatever reasons, stupidity,
Right.
I'll say, lack of love.
Right.
And so if we get more love, then obviously things will balance itself out. But so you just said something. You just make me think of bullying.
That's true.
So bullying is one of the things that we do best. I hate to say
Yes.
it,
Yes.
but
Yes.
there's a lot of people of color that live to bully others.
Yes.
And when I say that, one of the things that come to mind is, how they use social media. Because a lot of times bullying can be silenced. You can do something magnificent, something great, and just your people in your
support
surrounding
you.
that won't give you just a little fake clap
Right.
emoji or a thumbs up. Just those people that won't do it so that other people can see that they acknowledge that you're doing something good. It don't have to be great, but that you're doing something positive. We won't even do that.
Yeah.
So let alone be my brother's keeper or my sister's keeper. And I'm just telling you, I know 29 years later in the game, I can tell you, not looking for applause, not looking for an attaboy or a pat on the back.
Right.
But when you know you've been in business for 29 years and you can count the people on one hand, two hands. How many I got?
You got two.
But yeah,
You got two hands
watch
up.
it. That was too many. When you can count the people on one hand that you call family that have supported you through those 29 years. We have a problem, Houston, and that's black on black attack.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, if y'all watched the DMX funeral, they gave him all these accolades after he passed,
But nobody checked on him when he was down.
and nobody checked on him when he was down. But when the moderator of the service, her words was, "Why are we waiting until he's dead to give this man all these accolades?
Because that's what we do.
Why
Look,
didn't we give him the accolades? Why
That's what I'm telling
why
you.
he was alive, so he can really enjoy and sink it in of the accomplishment that people actually do care about you.
Right.
Maybe if they would have did that, he probably would have kicked drugs, whatever. But at the
And
end of the day,
that's right.
if you give that person that flower while they're alive,
That's right, E.
they can understand. Okay, somebody, if it's just one person, appreciate it.
And
Encouraging.
that speaks
That's
volumes.
Yeah.
right. We got to do better. And we have another comment right here.
Clarence McFarland.
Hello,
Hi,
Clarence.
Clarence.
What's up,
Clarence
Clarence?
says poverty produces crime. Black, green, yellow, white, brown. This is a fact worldwide. Amen. Yes,
Amen.
it is.
Yes, it is.
That's true.
Because most of the time when
Survival.
people, that's right, are in survival mode
Man.
and they looking out for family, kids, self, and they feel like tomorrow's not promised, yes, they will commit crimes to stay alive. That's a fact.
And that is so true. And everything we're saying, and I don't know where we are time-wise, but I want to say this before we have to get out of here. Understand, our words might seem harsh, but sometimes
No,
you
they
got to make a
don't.
lot of noise, or you got to say the hard things to make changes. If we're soft most of the time, things are not going to be changed. Change comes through adversity. It comes through knowledge and things like that. So we got to, first of all, recognize it, note it, and talk
Well,
about
that's what
it.
I was going to say. Yeah, I don't think harsh. I think we're just bringing awareness to
Yes.
something that exists. And guess what? These, when we talk about hard topics, black on black crime, sometimes that's a hard topic to have. That's a hard discussion for
Right.
people to have
Right.
openly
Yeah.
and have good conversation. So
Well-
this is a safe space to do just that, and that's what we're here for.
And I'm
Is
with
to
your
use
conversation,
voices.
black on black attack. I can go with that
Awareness.
conversation all day, every day.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many other things because listen, age doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
They start in, can I say kindergarten? I don't know, little kids. There's been young kids, age 7, commit suicide because they were being bullied and talked about in school. I'm saying it just happens all the time.
We have another comment. Who controls the media? Is this all intentional? And if it is, why are they targeting black people? And no other race is in the same space as blacks with the media.
Can I answer that one?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why they targeted us. And you might not think this is right or true, but we spend our money the most
Everywhere.
everywhere but our own. Now, if we control the way we spent our money and how we maneuver, and the biggest thing is once we come together, there's nothing nobody can do. So if I can keep them divided, knowing if they come together and become one unit, they could pretty much shut the world down. Period.
Yeah. And I got one thing. Who controls the media? Not us. Not fully. Let's be honest. The percentage of black that own media or part of media own companies is very low. But why do they target us? As E said, it's one is because we will bring them money. But two is we are the most commercialized people that has ever been. Anything that has been marketed in the last 60 years has been marketed through black media and black people. So knowing that, they're going to continue to make the movies that show, and we like drama. Come on. You was talking about not finding protest videos. Find how many fight videos you can find of
Right.
us.
Sure,
And
no.
how many
Absolutely.
views, how many of them got millions and millions of views.
Right.
Because unfortunately, we like that stuff. And
We
that
like that
entertains us.
stuff, but we don't want to support Tyler Perry.
I'm
And
just
those
saying,
of us
I'm
that
just
might
saying.
sometimes,
I'm
you
just
remember when
saying.
Tyler Perry was begging people
Right.
not to bootleg his
Right, but I'm
movies
just saying.
and videos.
I'm just saying. So that's the problem, and they play to our appetite.
Right.
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 If we
But
stop biting that apple, yes, they'll stop
Yes,
making
and that's
those.
why I'm saying. So when you do find somebody in a community that decides that they're going to do something, they're going to try to make a difference, then those are the
Yes,
people you're
support
supposed to
them.
support.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, so we got to do better with that. Yes, we
got
don't.
to
Do
do
we
better.
control any media?
Other than Tyler Perry, well,
I'm just
so
saying
hold
any
on,
media.
hold on,
Taylor
and
Smiley.
I got to clear something up
Oprah?
because everybody on Tyler Perry, Robert Townsend
Yes,
had his own media company long before Tyler Perry
yes.
ever
Yes.
came, but
Yes.
he never got. So yes, he talked about the lack of support.
Yes, absolutely.
There's another comment, and I actually want to take this one. Laura says, when I worked at the hospital, I had black employees tell me they wouldn't go past Pontiac Street. It was too dangerous. I lived in Harrison Hill at the time. So I just want to say this. When the media portrays that certain areas of town are dangerous, black people can hear it, white people can hear it, Asians can hear it, Indians can hear it, anybody can hear it. So, you know, with that being said, she may not have had a bad experience in that neighborhood. Maybe she did. We don't know the situation, but I will say that all races can be strewed by the media.
That's right.
You know, that could be a situation right there. I mean, I do not feel unsafe in a place where nothing has happened to me. I will drive out of here on the southeast part of town with my doors unlocked because guess why? Nothing has ever happened to me to make me want to lock my doors.
Right. That's right,
I
too.
feel you.
And you're right, because I just had a relative that's visiting here from Alabama, and one of the things he said as he was trying to find a hotel, he said, well, is it right? He said, they said they'll shoot you in a minute. And I said, really? Did you hear that? He said, yes.
Yes,
And I'm thinking, wow, that was just yesterday. And I'm thinking, No, I don't have a clue. It depends on what you're involved in.
Right.
And the people you're hanging with, from
company
day to
you
day.
keep.
The company you keep.
Right,
You
because
lay down with rats.
Clarence has a better chance of getting shot in his own neighborhood than I do walking through it, and that's just the reality
Right.
of it. It's the
'Cause a lot of
reality.
people don't know you. and
Yes.
They probably,
Wow.
got you.
Maybe
Yes.
you're police. Huh?
Probably. We're selling Girl
You a
Scout
CI?
cookies.
One of the things I want to say that's sad, I mentioned bullying, and we have another comment. 2 out of 9 people that's bullied on social media and different things like that commit suicide.
Right.
And people don't realize how serious it is sometimes when
Right.
you start doing certain things on social media.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and I would say this, if it's not good, just don't say anything.
And I'm glad you
Right.
bring that up because stuff like that starts out as petty or bullying
Mm-hmm.
on social media ends up being the stuff that's on the news that we're hearing about.
That's right.
All of that stuff can lead up to
Yeah.
something.
Well, I mean, I honestly say the bullying part, I guess it is a lot different from when we grew up because some of the stuff that we said to each other at the lunch table was harsh.
Yeah.
I mean, but the generations is different because everything is softened.
Yeah, that's why they say all the time they feel some type of way.
Yeah, you soft. This generation is soft versus having tough skin, knowing how to laugh, knowing
That's
when it's a
right.
joke, knowing what is what. But now it's like to the point where, they can quickly type it on social media
Right.
or they video recording it and it's pushed out and it's pushed out. Versus, like you said, when we sitting at the lunch table, sitting at the lunch
Only
table,
about 15 people heard it.
yeah,
Right.
it might have spread across
Right.
the school real quick,
Right.
but other than that, it
Well, and that has a
it
lot to
probably
do
didn't-
with it.
Yeah, it probably didn't even get past the B
Yeah,
wall.
because social media now, you take that picture and you send it everywhere and
Yeah.
say, "Look at this fat slob," and now you're
Seriously.
embarrassing.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people. If they would have had social media back there and they would have took a picture and said, "Look at this flat slob" or "Look at this ugly dude," they were like, "Yeah, he is ugly." You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
end of story.
Yeah,
And
the
that'd be
same
it.
person
Yeah.
would have
Yeah.
comment on his picture. Yeah, he is ugly or he is fat.
Yeah.
and it's just having that sense of humor and understanding.
Right, I
is-
agree with you.
It's not as bad as it looks.
Yeah, I agree
Right,
with you. Things
right.
have changed. People are totally different.
We've got an awesome
young
comment
people.
to kind of head us out and summarize what we've been, trying to portray. And this is from Pastor William Curry. He's coming in with some heavy tonight. What has to happen is that we must see the value in one another.
Correct.
We devalue each other, but we'll praise others that look different than we do.
Absolutely.
The value, that's the
Hallelujah.
word.
All
We
the
gotta find
time.
value in ourselves.
Right.
It happens.
absolutely.
It happens to me right in this room
The
all
doors,
the time.
the doors of the church is open.
It happens all
Lord,
the
oh,
time. I
Lord,
can talk
oh,
to y'all
Lord,
about
oh,
it.
Lord.
We'll talk about it.
All right.
What happened? I
We
don't
love
know.
you, Doc V.
Depending on the day.
They love me because I'm gonna keep it 100.
No, that was
100.
No, that was 75.
No, you weren't here that day. But anyway, yeah. So we will be back tomorrow
We
with
will.
more conversation.
Yeah.
So the topic continues.
Yes, it does.
Yes, but meanwhile, before we get out of here, Jill, I know you can sum it up for us.
I'm going to. I'm not going to rap
Beautifully.
tonight like you guys did, though.
Okay.
Imagine a society that we all have a share in, where every voice matters and every life matters. We are talking about a life. Life should be equally important regardless of how it's lost. A life that should be fought for while still in existence, instead of solely being celebrated when it's too late. We all need to focus on being a society where every life counts. A society where we can look at each other more often. The status of humanity and its nature. That we come together to create a new society instead of standing on opposite sides like the system has intended us to do in order to simply maintain a society that was never controlled by its neighborhood to begin with. A pure intention, an open mind, and the respect for all people is what is missing. The value of your life, the value of my life, the value of every black life, every white life, and the life of every single human race. It takes just as much strength to build the bridge that brings us together as it does to build the walls that keep us apart.
Amen.
Wow.
All crime is crime. All hate is hate. All love is love. Love is what's right. It's all we have left.
And that's awesome. And that's all we need is love.
Love. All we need
Yes.
is love.
Powerful. Thank you. This is Neutral Voices. And thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you hopefully back here tomorrow for the voice of the people. Thanks.
Wake up, no time for sleeping on the issues. This is Neutral Voices, we gon' deal with the issues.